Hello everyone, this is Ma'am Amano, and this lecture video is all about molarity, which is one of the units or way of expressing a concentration solution. So this will be our topic for today. Now, first let us define the concentration of a solution. We can define that as a amount of solute present in a given amount of solvent or a given amount of solution. So on this lecture, we define solute as either liquid or solid, and then the solvent is always a liquid, and then the solution, it can be defined as solute plus solvent. Alright, there are cases that the solvent can be a gas, but this is another topic. So let us focus wherein the solvent is a liquid. This is the chemical or compound that is being added on a solvent to produce the solution. Okay? So, first, let's define the molarity. It is represented as a italized M. And then, another term for this is molar concentration or molar analytical concentration in higher chemistry. And we can define this as a number of moles of solute per liter of solution. This is the relationship for that. Molarity is equivalent to moles of solute over liters of solution, or algebraically speaking, we can define that in this expression as M is equals to the N over V, wherein the N here represents the mole unit, it is in mole, and then the V is always in liters, such as this one. The definition here says it is per liter of solution. So the volume here is denoted as liter, as always in getting the molarity. So we can use these triangular methods for you to find the other components just in case you are being asked to find that. So that is M, or molarity, is equivalent to the moles of solute per liter of solution. And then N, to find the moles, that is M multiplied to the volume, and then to find the volume, that is moles over the molarity. So let us have some sample problems for that. I have here sample problem number 1. What is the molarity of a 500 milliliter of solution containing 0.730 moles of glucose? So here you are being asked to find the molarity, and the given values are, we have the moles of solute, which is 0.730 mole of glucose, and then the volume is 500 milliliters. So I said earlier that the volume must be always expressed in liters when you are asked to find the molarity. So you have to convert 500 milliliters into liters. To convert that, you just have to move 3 decimal places from here. So that will be 1, 2, 3. So you have here 0.5 liters. And then the formula here, since you are being asked to find the molarity, is equivalent to N over V, or moles of solute per liter of solution. So you have here already the moles substitution. On this one, you will have 0.730 mole of the glucose, and then the volume, which is 0.5 liters here. Divide that, you will have 1.46 molarity or molar concentration of the glucose solution. So the mole per liter unit here, mole per liter, if you encounter that unit or expression, that denotes or state that this quantity here is molarity, because the unit for molarity is mole per liter. So we have here already the answer. Meaning to say, the molar concentration or yung tapang ng solution is 1.46 molarity. So, paano yung tinitimpla sa isang laboratory? Ibig sabihin, meron kang 500 milliliters or 0.5 liters. Ilang grams dapat? So, you have to convert this mole into grams. To convert that into grams, you have this relationship. 1 mole of glucose is equivalent to 180.156 grams of glucose. Ito yung molar mass. Then, the conversion factor for this one is 180.156 grams of glucose over 1 mole. Since, i-convert mo nga yung mole into grams para magamit mo siya technically sa laboratory. So, you will have this conversion para makancel mo yung mole unit and then to obtain the gram unit. So, you will have here now 0.730 moles. Ito. Multiplied to this expression or relationship, 180.156 grams of glucose over 1 mole of glucose. Cancel. You will have 0.730 multiplied to 180.156. So, you will have 131.5 grams of glucose solution. Ibig sabihin yan, kung meron kang, ito yung lagayan mo, let us say this is your Florence flask. Mas mahabang leeg. Alright? So, meron ka daw dyang 500 milliliters or 0.5 liters of, let us say, liquid yan. Tubig. Okay. Ito yung solvent, for example. Ngayon, lalagyan mo ngayon siya ng magtitimbang ka ngayon ng 131.5 grams ng sugar. Okay? Dito mo yung lalagay. So, maglagay ka ngayon ng sugar dyan. Tinimbang mo 131.5 grams. So, that is the use of moles in a concentration para malaman mo gaano ba katapang or gaano ba ang concentration na dapat mo i-prepare. So, you have to convert the mole into the grams or in kilograms if you want to find that concentration. So, in this case, in grams because this is a molarity on this one. So, that's the application of this one. Okay? So, you will have now here the solution or concentration of 1 point. This is now 1.46 molarity of glucose kapag naglagay ka na ng 131.5 grams sa 0.5 milliliters, 0.5 liters rather. Alright? Another sample problem number 2, we have here how many grams of potassium dichromate are required to prepare a 250 milliliter solution whose concentration is 2.16 molar or molarity. So, the given values here, we have the volume of 250 milliliters. Lakihan ko. And then, express mo yan sa liters since ang molarity nga, ang unit niya ay moles per liters. Hindi mo ka pwede mag-perform ng operation kung naka-milliliters yan. So, you have to express that into liters. So, move 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, you will have 0.25 liters. And then, the molar concentration is 2.16 molarity. The formula here, since you are being asked to find the grams, alright? So, from this equation here, triangular expression natin dito, that is N over MV, right? So, you have to find first the mole before you can convert that into grams. So, mangyayari dito ay moles into grams. So, from this problem kasi, we cannot extract the grams here. We have to find first the mole and then convert that into grams. So, to do that, we will have this formula to find the moles. Given the values here, at the top. So, the formula is N or moles is equivalent to the product of the molarity and then the volume of the solution. The solution here you will have N is equivalent to the molarity of, okay, let us start with volume. Nagkamali ako ng placing pero since distributive property naman to, it's okay. But then, I advise you na mauuna lagi yung molarity, ha? So, you will have here 2.16 mole per liter of solution. E-expand mo yung unit ng molarity kasi ang unit ng molarity ay mole per liter. That is mole per liter, right? So, you have to expand that formula. Para ma-cancel mo yung liter unit kasi meron ka rin ditong volume of 0.25 liters. On this case, maka-cancel mo na yung liter. And then, you will be left out with the mole unit, which is yung hinahanap mo para ma-convert mo siya sa grams. So, you will have here 0.25 multiplied to 2.16. And then, you will have here now 0.54 mole of the potassium dichromate. This is the formula for potassium dichromate, the chemical formula. And then, the next thing that you need to find is the grams. Since you are being asked here to find the grams of potassium dichromate, ilan daw ang kailangan mong grams para ilagay dun sa 250 ml na solution para magkaroon ka ng 2.16 molarity na concentration. So, hindi ka naman pwede maglagay ng direktang moles yun. Hindi siya measurable in terms of the naked eye or naked tool. So, you will have here conversion of moles into grams. Okay, so that is 0.54 moles of potassium dichromate. And then the relationship here is this one. Ang mole ay nasa ilalim kasi para ma-cancel mo siya. Then, ang molar mass ng potassium dichromate ay 294.2 grams potassium dichromate. You know how to find the molar mass, right? So, this is the molar mass based on the computation. So, you will have here cancel that unit, and then multiply 0.54 to 294.2. And then, grams here, you will have 159 grams of potassium dichromate. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan mong maglagay ng 159 grams ng potassium dichromate sa 250 milliliters or 0.25 liters para magkaroon ka ng concentration or ng tapang ng solution na 2.16 molarity. Alright? Sample problem number 3. What is the molarity of an 85 ml ethanol solution containing 1.77 grams of ethanol? So, you are being asked here to find the molarity. And the given values here, we have the volume and then the gram. So, that is the given values. Let's have here. Volume is 85.0 milliliters. Convert that into liters. First, so to convert it into liters, you have to move 3 places, so that will be 0.085 rather, 0.085 liters. Alright, 3 decimal places. And then the grams is 1.77 grams. Yun yung given. 1.77 grams of ethanol. But, tatandaan ninyo, hindi ka pwedeng maghanap ng molarity. Hindi mo pwedeng makompute yung molarity kung wala kang mole. So, you have to convert the grams here into mole. So, that is the first step. Grams into mole. So, you will have here 1.77 grams of ethanol solution. And then, ang molar mass ng ethanol natin ay 46.07 grams. Ilalagay mo ngayon yung grams sa ilalim para makancel mo siya. Tapos, you will have here the mole unit. So, cancel the gram unit here. You will have 1.77 times 1 over 46.07. You will have the mole of 0.038 mole of the ethanol. Ngayon, pwede mo lang mahanap yung molarity kasi na-meet niya na yung desired or expected unit, which is the mole. And then, meron tayo ditong volume na liters for the volume of solution, which is 0.085. So, for step 2, you will be using this formula na. Molarity is equivalent to the moles of solute per liter of solution. So, substitution lang. Ang mole of solute natin ay 0.038 mole of the ethanol, which is this one, over the 0.085 liters. And then perform the operation divide, you will have 0.447 molarity. Again, ang contraction ng mole per liter ay molarity. So, this is the answer. Alright? Next, sample problem number 4. In a biochemical assay, a chemist needs to add 3.81 grams of glucose to a reaction mixture. Calculate the volume in milliliters of a 2.53 molarity of glucose solution she should use for the addition. So, the given values from this problem, we have here the grams of glucose, which is 3.81 grams. And then the volume is, we have to find the volume here on this case. And then, the molarity is also given, which is 2.53. So, you have here, again, given values, 3.81 grams of glucose. And then, the molarity is 2.53 molarity of the glucose. We are finding the volume in terms of milliliters. The first thing that you need to do for the formula is that volume is equivalent to the N over M based on the triangular method, which is this one. Diba? We have here this molarity and then N over V. So, takpan mo lang to, you will have N over M as your formula for the solution. And then, the first step is, of course, you have to convert the grams into moles. Since naka-grams yan, hindi ka makakapag-compute ng molarity when it comes to the volume kasi naka-grams. So, you have to express this into mole. So, 3.81 grams converting into mole, you will have, ang molar mass ng glucose ay 180.156 grams of glucose. Lagay mo sa denominator para makancel mo yung glucose na unit. So, cancel. Then, 3.81 times 1 over 180.156, you will have 0.021 mole of glucose. Ngayon, meron ka lang mole unit. Second step is pwede ka na mag-substitution sa formula na to. Volume is equivalent to the moles of solute per the molarity. So, 0.021 mole from this problem. Okay? Or answer rather. And then, you will have here now over 2.53 the molarity. Ngayon, expand mo yan. Expand mo yung M. Pag in-expand mo yan, that is mole per liter para makancel mo yung mole at makuha mo yung desired volume mo na unit, which is the liter. So, cancel mo ngayon yung mole na unit, then divide 0.021 over 2.53. That will be 0.083 liters. Ngayon, diba, ang hinahanap natin sa volume ay milliliter. So, ang sunod mong gagawin, i-convert mo ngayon yung 0.083 liters into milliliter, which is, move ka lang, 1, 2, 3, that is 8.3 milliliters. So, ito yung sagot natin sa question, 0.083 milliliters. Alright? Sample problem number 5. What volume in milliliters of a 0.315 molar of NaOH solution or sodium hydroxide solution contains 6.22 grams of sodium hydroxide? The given values that we have here, first we have here the molarity, which is 0.315 molarity of NaOH. And then yung grams niya ay 6.22 grams of NaOH. Again, we are being asked to find the volume in terms of milliliters. The formula that we will be using here is this one, since we are asked to find the volume. That is, volume is equivalent to the moles of solute per the molarity. But the first thing that we need to do in order for us to perform this operation here is to convert the grams into moles. Alright, so 6.22 into moles, converting that. The molar mass of NaOH or sodium hydroxide is 39.997 grams. This is the molar mass. So, ang relationship na gagamitin natin or conversion factor, nasa ilalim yung grams para ma-cancel natin tong gram unit here. So, you will have here down the mole unit. So, 6.22 times 1 over 39.997, you will have 0.156 mole of NaOH. This is your mole value na. Now, we can substitute na this on this formula. So, you will have here the mole of 0.156 mole NaOH, and then yung molarity natin ay given, which is 0.315 molarity. So, expand mo yung M na unit earlier. Ang expanded form niyan ay mole per liter para ma-cancel mo yung mole unit at ma-obtain mo yung liter natin, which is the value or unit for volume rather. So, cancel the mole. You will have here 0.156 over 0.315. That is 0.495 liters. And then, since you are being asked to find the volume in terms of milliliter, the first thing that you need to do is convert that into liter, which is 0.495 liters to ml. That will be moved 3 decimal places. That will be 1, 2, 3, 495 milliliters. Remember na hindi ka pwedeng mag-divide na i-convert mo siya agad sa milliliter tapos i-divide mo sa sa mole. Kasi ang definition natin ng molarity is per liter. So, dapat naka-liter siya kapag dinivide mo. And then, saka mo siya i-convert into milliliters. After mo makuha yung volume niya na naka-liter. Alright? Lagi. Ang molarity, lagi ang unit niya ay mole per liter. Okay? Now, for your practice exercises, sagutan nyo lang to. On your own, practice nyo lang. Pero hindi nyo siya ipapasa sa akin, ha? Okay. Tapos, aside from that, mag-a-assign ako ng presenter per group para i-present nyo tong mga problems in the lecture consultation. Pero hindi nyo siya ipapasa sa akin ng as assignment or as quiz or as practice exercise. Pwede nyo siyang sagutan lahat. Pag-practice na ninyo, isa-isa kayo, lahat kayo, bawat isa sa inyo. Pero, meron akong presenter na i-assign. Dito sa group 1, tapos dito sa group 2, group 3, group 4, tapos group 5, tapos group 6. Pero lahat kayo pag-practicean nyo to, ha. Alright? So, that is all for this lecture video.